Okay, so it's day 27 of my daily dollar cost average. And we'll start that right away. So again, DAI to Bitcoin, $333. And there you have it. 0.00520716 Bitcoin. Yeah, so we're at home. So it's negative 0.23. So it's basically flat today. And the big news everybody was talking about for a long time was, of course, Cardano, which you can't buy. And again, I was speaking about this before. I'm probably going to get a Binance account. I know I keep saying this, but I will get a Binance account and start buying Cardano because I think it's a good idea. But and I'll do daily dollar cost average on Cardano too. But probably next week I'm going to start doing that. Not right now, but I thought I was going to miss out, but it seems to be going down. So 1 week, see, it was as high as a buck 85 or a buck 88, and it's come down quite a bit. It's still up 14.65% over the week, over the month, but it's been like, look at it, it's been down to like 54 cents. Like it's been low. 1 year, I think it's 4 cents. So it's gone up quite a bit in a year. It's kind of had the same run that Bitcoin had. But anyways, I'm gonna start buying it next week. Get the Binance account all set up. I haven't really, had time to do it, but I'll do it. And so that's, I guess, the big news. Not that that's big news to anybody, but I'll probably start that next week. And again, I'm going to continue with the Bitcoin daily dollar cost average. So that's going to remain the same. So anyways, we'll just take a couple of looks at just again, look at the headlines, and I'll watch whatever, kind of stands out. So this one I find kind of interesting. So Bitcoin going to infinity, essentially same thing that Max Kaiser was saying the other day. Now this comes from Kraken CEO. So Jesse Powell, founder and CEO of Kraken, explained how he believes that Bitcoin will eventually replace all of the world's whatever, I'm sure, currencies or whatever. So we could look at this one, but we'll go through all of them. And again, we have Cryptos Are Us, the truth behind F2 pools, Bitcoin dumping. So he's going to explain what's going on. And like I said, I always find this guy very informative. He seems to have very nuanced information. He seems to be a smart guy. So, I think his information is fairly valid. And again, Kevin O'Leary, this was actually interesting. I think it was Altcoin Daily. I remember they pointed this out a long time ago, like probably last year, with 6 months to a year ago. And like the funny thing with this O'Leary, they showed him like back in like, I think it was like 2012, 2013. He knew every little single detail about Bitcoin back in like 2012. Like, I mean, very nuanced information. He was saying, how the blockchain works and how, I can't remember exactly what he was saying. But he knew all the information, like very to the most minute detail. And he was like, "Oh, it's a great investment, and it's here to stay." Because I think the story was about some guy in Calgary sold a house, and he didn't want money; he wanted Bitcoin for it, and it made the news in Canada. Because I'm in Canada, and Kevin O'Leary's Canadian, and it made the news. The guy said he sold a house, he wanted all Bitcoin. This is back in like 2012. I think Bitcoin, I don't know what it was like. We can look. So if you go to Bitcoin all time, so like, yeah, if it was like 2012, yeah, it was like $100 or something. You know what I mean? Whatever it was, $124. Let's say 100, whatever it was. This guy sold a house for like $1 million or $500,000, and he wanted Bitcoin. Okay, so we could do the math. We'll say it was $150. So if you went like 500,000 divided by 150, yeah, that guy would have 3,333. Okay, now we'll just say right now it's 60 grand Canadian, right? Whatever it is. So we'll just say average it out, 60,000 Canadian. Okay. That guy would have $200 million. So basically, he got $200 million for his house. Now, I don't know if it actually went through, but it made the news. And that was the topic that O'Leary was talking about. And he's like, oh, it's a great idea. And he was going on. Then they fast forward him to like just like a year or two ago. He's like, oh, Bitcoin. And he goes, I don't understand it. How does this work? It's crazy. Sounds like, a Ponzi scheme. And he goes, I don't understand what it does. He's making pretend like he knows nothing about it. And then, like I said, but 3, 4, 5, no, 10 years, almost 10, 7, 8 years before, he knew every little thing about it because he was on a financial channel explaining about it to people who didn't know. And then now he pretends he doesn't know it now. And he was saying it was a terrible investment. It's dumb. It's a Ponzi scheme. He was going on. Now they're saying, oh yeah, I like it again. He's probably been accumulating it the whole time. And that's what these altcoin daily guys were saying. They're saying, don't go by what people say, go by what they do. Because like I said, this Kevin O'Leary, he's I don't think this guy, and again, you can't blame them. It's like a poker player. They're not going to tell you their hand. To be successful in poker or investing, you got to keep things to yourself. But what I'm trying to say is don't take what these guys are saying at face value, because he knew way more than the average person when Bitcoin first came out. And like you just heard him, like he obviously did a lot of research on it. And then, like I said, fast forward 7, 8 years later, he's like, what is it? I don't understand it. He knew about it when it first came out, and all of a sudden he doesn't know. Now they're saying he's buying it again. He had a change of heart. Like I said, he was probably buying it the whole time. But anyways, we can hear, I don't know if you want to listen to this one, but here's Max Kaiser again. He's saying if this happens, Bitcoin price will go, 40 times in 2021. And again, you just got to take these things with a grain of salt because it is clickbait, because they want to get hits. And then you got Bill Gates. Bitcoin is doomed. He probably has a bunch of it. So so according, I guess what this is saying, 2021, Bill Gates, Bitcoin's done. And now you got, this lady here, I can't remember her name, but she's like, yeah, the stock market's going to crash. Bitcoin's got to go. Everything's got to go into Bitcoin. So yeah, and again, euphoria drives Bitcoin price higher. We are in the middle of a bull market, but be careful, so on and so forth. So it has all these things, right? But this is what I'm saying. This is why you have to daily dollar cost average, because it is way, way too difficult to make sense of all this. Like, it's just, there's like, okay, now you got this guy here, this I can't even say his name, Chat Math. He's saying that Bitcoin 150 G's, that's more reasonable. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's, okay, then another person, bull run coming for Bitcoin. Like, as if it's not already here. Now, this guy, Bitcoin 100K prediction. Yeah, her name's Kathy Wood, this woman. But she's like the new, I guess, face of Bitcoin or whatever. But like, it's just, you get all this stuff, right? Like, like Bill Gates says it's going to nothing. Now CNN, they're going to be chirping in. Is it safe? Whatever. Is like, everybody's got to, give their little rendition of what's going on here. And but anyways, yeah, we can watch one. So I'll just see which one. We'll just hear what this guy from Kraken has to say.
With the BMO Family Bundle, when one of you has a BMO account, the rest of the household gets no-fee daily banking.
So let's start on the price. It's above 50,000 now. Where do you think it's going?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Of course, we can only speculate, but when you measure it in terms of dollars, you have to think it's going to infinity, right? I mean, this national currency is only 50 years old. It's already showing extreme signs of weakness, and I think pretty soon people are going to start measuring the price of things in terms of Bitcoin. And I think the true believers will tell you that it's going all the way to the moon, to Mars, and eventually, will be the world's currency. So we won't be measuring the price of Bitcoin in terms of dollars, but in terms of what else you're going to be buying with it, probably planets and other solar systems.
Okay, but let's try to put a number on it. What do you mean by infinity, the moon or Mars?
So, the people that are believers in Bitcoin see it's going to replace all of the world's currency. So that means basically whatever the market cap of the dollar is, the euro, all of that combined is what Bitcoin could be worth. I think, in the near term, people see it surpassing gold as a store of value. So, I think $1 million as a price target, within the next 10 years is very reasonable. To some extent, it comes down to the pace of which the U.S. continues to print money. Bitcoin has absorbed a lot of that inflation. I think people are increasingly looking to Bitcoin as a safe haven asset when the value of their quote unquote savings account, which is returning 0.0001% a year, which, is not even making up for inflation or even close to it, is looking more like a losings account. So, I think we're just going to continue to see more people pile into it. The younger demographic is certainly taking notice of it, and they see it as a better version of gold and something to protect them against all of this inflation that's happening.
Now, Jesse, we're reporting the round you're raising would put the valuation of the company at $10 billion. It could potentially double if there's demand. What can you tell us about that? And is that a step towards going public?
Yeah, we're certainly on track to go public. We've had a lot of inbound interest in financing and people buying shares in the company. Personally, I think $10 billion is a low valuation. I wouldn't be interested in selling shares at that price. So, we're talking to a lot of interested parties. We may end up doing a primary financing. The company is.
Okay, just by what this guy's saying, and again, I'm not trying to say I'm the be all and end all of anything, but like him saying, oh, I think $10 billion for my company is a low ball. Like this is bringing back so many memories of the .com era. I remember they had companies like, okay, Kraken, all it is an exchange. You get 10 really good programmers. You get a bunch of kids out of a university, I'm not saying like dumbass kids, but smart. You get 10 smart kids from a computer science program from a university. They can make an exchange. Give those guys $60,000, $70,000 a year each. They could have an exchange up and running within a year and a half. You have a good project manager to get them on track. And this guy's saying that his company's worth $10 billion. And he thinks that's lowball, though it's worth much more than that. What's so great about Kraken? It's a crypto exchange. It's like Coinbase. It's like Binance. All those things. They're all the same. That's like you like I said, you could get a bunch of kids to make that. I would say for $500,000 in, you can make an exchange like that. Maybe, okay, let's say if you wanted to get it done fast and get it done really well, $2 million, but it's nowhere near worth $10 million. So anyways, like I said, I remember those .com companies back in the 90s. They did nothing. And they're like, yeah, my company's worth billions and it's worth way more than that. They're talking exactly the way this guy's talking. And they're going to use Bitcoin to buy solar systems. This is just dumb talk, man. And they got the typical, man bun with the, the geek glasses with the tie-dyed. This guy's like a caricature of the modern, CEO. It's like a joke. It's like a Simpsons episode of some stooge, you know what I mean? And mark my words, when this whole thing comes down, I know you might say, well, why are you buying Bitcoin? I do think there's money to be made, But I mean, like this euphoria of everybody can be, a billionaire. It's not going to happen. Like Bitcoin is going to go up, but I mean, like the numbers these guys are saying are just not possible. And again, this guy kind of personifies the ethos of what's going on right now. Like, you know what I mean? Again, like he's completely, quote unquote, unconventional for CEO, and he's the founder. And it's just a farce, But anyways, this is kind of the gist right now, but this is what's driving the market. And again, a lot of these kids that are getting into it, they they just don't, like, they haven't experienced like investing, um you know the way I have, or the way a lot of guys who've been around for a while, like these guys come and go, and they think it's all new, and it's, oh my God, this guy's got, something that nobody else has or something. This has all been done before, right? It used to be called .com. And like I said, there were companies. I remember the worst one was dogfood.com. Some guy would send you could buy dog food over the internet. And it turned out it was like $80 with shipping and all that to get a bag of dog food. And I think they said the company was valued at like $10 billion or something stupid like that. But anyways, that's my rant for the day. And yeah, so like I said, next week I'll probably start doing Binance, getting some of that Cardano, and we'll take it from there. Take care.